Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the Storytime Society. I'm your host Jamie and I'm so happy you're here. I'm so glad you're alive. Thanks for tuning in. The theme of this episode is cheating stories, which you guys seem to love according to the analytics. So also, if you are feeling so kind, give me some high points. I still feel so cringe saying that, like, give me some high points, but apparently it helps push out my videos, and I would love you for that because obviously, mama's working hard over here, okay? So also, I have started vlogging because I got a new vlog camera, and the link to my personal vlog page or channel is in the description if you have any interest in my personal life. But let's get into this episode. The title of the first story is I Caught My Wife Cheating 2 months after our wedding and I don't even know where to start. I, 32 male, got married 2 months ago to someone I thought was the love of my life, 30 female. We've been together for almost 4 years before tying the knot. The wedding was beautiful, emotional, surrounded by family and friends, and I really believed it was the start of everything we dreamed of. Then last week, everything shattered. I found out she's been seeing someone else. I didn't go looking for it. I saw a message pop up on her phone, and my stomach just dropped. When I confronted her, she admitted it had been going on for months, even before the wedding. I can't explain the feeling. Anger, disbelief, sadness, it's all hitting at once. What hurts even more is knowing how much I gave to this relationship. I built a business, a home, a future I thought that we would share. She moved into my house before we got married, and now I can't even look at her without feeling sick. I don't care about the money right now. I just feel betrayed and completely lost. 2 months of marriage, and I already feel like the life I built has fallen apart. I just needed to get this out. The top comment says exactly what I was thinking. Get an annulment because this is so early on in the marriage, and unfortunately you had to figure out after you got married, but it's just not worth staying in a relationship with someone like that. It's not worth it. Nothing could ever be worth it. And I know that it's going to be so hard and a lot of work and self-growth to get over this kind of situation, but someone said, act quickly. It's a special kind of garbage person to marry someone while carrying on an affair. There is no way you can trust her moving forward. No, this makes me think of like that story, which this one is way worse, but have you guys heard of, it's been a while since this case has been going on. I think maybe, I don't know, it's been pretty much all year that it's been going on, but Christina Formella, she is 30 years old and she'd been in this relationship for a while, but during the relationship she started up a obviously non-consensual relationship with a 15-year-old, one of her students at the school that she works at, and she literally raped this student multiple times in her classroom. Like, he would come over in the morning to her classroom and they would engage in sexual activity, and then he would leave and they would talk, they would hang out, they would text each other, and she still got married to her boyfriend, her fiance. And the marriage, like the wedding literally happened when she was like trying to get over him. They found like a bunch of notes in her notes app of her trying to like, her writing this whole thing saying that she like deserved better and all this stuff, and then she was like manifesting him back into her life, saying that like he'll text her and say that he misses her and stuff or something like that. But she got indicted on 52 additional charges, and I just cannot believe that is a thing. Like, it's really scary. And this girl was like, I mean, she was dating a very, like, I don't know, he could be an asshole. I don't know. Obviously, it means nothing to be like a good looking guy, but they were both good looking. It was a good looking guy and a good looking girl. maybe their relationship was terrible. I feel like she's obviously a pedo and he's staying with her. So I'm just like a little bit confused about that. He knows everything that happened, obviously, and he's still standing by her side about it, which is insane. And they got married in Italy. They had this whirlwind of a wedding, like this amazing wedding. Like you can really have it all and like still just be an insane person and a terrible person. And I mean, it's just obviously disgusting. Like, it's so scary. And the text messages between them are just so disgusting and so scary. This girl was like, seemed like she would be like a popular girl. I think I heard that she was like soccer, like a really good soccer player in high school and college. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure. And it's just insane. Like, it's so scary. But that obviously was not really similar to that story at all. It just reminded me of it because she still chose to get married to her fiance, even though she was having I wouldn't call it an affair because she's a pedo and was raping a 15-year-old, but having an affair. We'll call it that for the sake of, but obviously that's not what it was. And this poor kid, like, he's going to grow up and realize how messed up that was and probably have a lot of trauma from it. But we're going to move on to the next story. The title is, Am I the asshole for ending my 6-year relationship after finding out they cheated during the time of losing our son? For context, this happened a long time ago, but I still get hassle and grief from other people telling me I was wrong for what I did, so I'm wondering if maybe I really am the asshole. Me, 30 female, and my now ex, 45 male, met in 2019 and were together for almost 6 years. I had a child from a previous relationship who was 13 months old when we met. The biological father was toxic and narcissistic and was in and out of my son's life from the very start. When I got together with my now ex, as my child grew, he looked at him as a father figure. I was happy with this, and so was my ex. There was cheating happening from early on in the relationship. The first time it happened was a year in, and he swore it was a one-off thing and it was brief. For context, it was all over messages. They never actually met up in person, and the woman involved clarified this. Jump to May 2022, my son got sick out of the blue one day, and my whole world got turned upside down. He was diagnosed with a rare and deadly brain tumor, and sadly, nothing could be done, and he was given max 2 years to live. During this time, I found out there had been more cheating. Again, it was messages, etc. But I know my ex saw these people due to them being friends and what he does for work. He's a tattoo artist. We split as I couldn't take it and I wanted to focus on the time that I had left with my son. After 8 months, we got back together as during the time apart, we still hung out, spent time together for the sake of my son and us wanting him to have us both there for the time that he had left. In that time, he did show me he had changed and it was a mistake and he promised it wouldn't happen again. Skip to September 2023 and sadly, my son passed away at the age of 5. A month later, just after the funeral, I found messages myself of my ex talking to a couple of women and arranging the times she came over to our place and having sex in my bed. This happened during the time that my son was sick. When I first brought it up, my ex denied it all, told me it wasn't like that. They didn't even sleep together and I was reading it wrong. I knew I wasn't because it was there in black and white. He eventually admitted it and apologized a lot. I was at the worst part of my life and I guess I stayed because it was familiar. I had just lost my son and I guess I didn't want to lose anything else. We kept arguing over and over about it and one day he turned around and told me I need to just get over it and let it go. That I have no right to keep holding it against him and I'm not worth it if that's the case. So I left. I packed my stuff and I left without saying a word. The moment he started blaming me and telling me I'm not worth it due to his actions was all I needed to finally push me out the door. To this day, I'm apparently the asshole for leaving at such a hard time. That I was walking away during his suffering and that my son wouldn't be happy that I walked away and left his daddy. I did everything possible for my son and his happiness. I stayed in a situation that I didn't deserve to be in so that my son could have mommy and daddy there for that last part of his life. All I cared about was giving my son everything. And when he passed, I know I did exactly that. I know my son wouldn't want to see me in pain, nor would he want to see me mistreated. But for some reason, I can't help but think that maybe I did let him down when I walked away. Maybe he wouldn't have been happy. So could anyone shed any light on this for me, or bring me a little comfort that I did the right thing in the end? Or am I really the asshole? Not the asshole. I know it's hard to leave a relationship, and I know that it's like, that's going to happen. People are going to stay in relationships, but if you're listening and you've been cheated on, leave. I don't think that cheating can be forgiven, and I don't think, I think that these types of mess ups, they're not just mistakes that ooh, I accidentally fell and slipped into having an affair and cheating on you. These aren't just mistakes that are just nonchalant, and it's probably going to happen again, and it's going to happen again and again, or they're going to do something else that's also unforgivable. And I do agree with you, letting him be in your son's life towards the end of his life. And I know that probably made it a lot harder because you still had to see him and stuff. So I totally understand. I totally understand why you would get back together with someone that cheated on you. But if you're listening to this, I just want to let you know, don't forgive someone that cheats on you. Obviously, there are times where that really does never happen again and you can live happily ever after, but the chances of that being you, I feel like that's a very the 1% of cheating situations. I would never forgive my boyfriend for cheating on me because, one, I just know myself and know that it would take me a really long time to get over that, and I don't think I would ever be able to truly fully gain trust or trust him again. And I just know that in the end, it would not be the right thing. And I think that even if he never cheated on me again, I still just think once is enough. You're not the asshole. You completely did the right thing in the end. Your son would not want to see you mistreated. He would not want to even know that. He would be so upset hearing that this guy, even if he would be so upset hearing that his dad or stepdad that he loved so much was cheating on his mom. He would be so upset, and he would not want you to do that, to accept that behavior. He probably wouldn't understand at that point in his life because he's so young, and he was so young when he passed away. But as he got older, he would know that he wouldn't want you to be in that situation. The top comment says, I can't imagine your son would want to see you in an abusive relationship. He would want what is best for you because he loved you. You should love yourself enough to let this go and move on. Once you love yourself, then you can find someone that will truly love you and treat you with the respect you deserve. Yes. I agree. And it's clearly this guy is clearly a POS because he's trying to blame it on you and turn it on you. Yeah, okay. I mean, that if the cheating didn't show his character, that surely did. And that is surely not the type of person that you want to be with. And I'm so sorry. That's I cannot even imagine going through the death of a child at any age, any age of the child, even if they're older and you're, I just don't think that any parent should have to feel the loss of a child. Your parents should be dying before you die. That's the one thing that it's just really sad. It's hard to comprehend when people have to go through that. For example, Emily Kaiser on TikTok. Her name's Emily Kaiser, right? She lost her 3 or 4-year-old, I don't know, toddler son to a drowning accident. And that she's been recently posting again on TikTok after a few months hiatus. And I just feel so awful for her. And I just can't believe, like, people truly turn that into, like, tea and drama. And it's like, do you understand that this is someone's life? And it's crazy how people can be so unempathetic and how people can truly just, like, disconnect the fact that just because these people are on a screen, all of a sudden that means they don't have feelings or they're just a character that you're watching on a screen. Like, that's just not the case. This is real life. This is their real life. This really happened to them. They're going through it and they're not going to be posting about it. Like, she's not comfortable posting about her grief journey. And even if she was, she still would be getting hate comments because people are just so cruel in this world. And there are also a lot of amazing people in this world, but it's crazy how many cruel people there are in this world that they will be judging her for, like, posting on TikTok and saying, like, how can she be okay after she lost her son? Like, I can't believe she's just, like, oh, so happy, dandy. It's really crazy. It's like, if you have there's obviously nuance. Like, there's things you're not seeing. There's so much you're not seeing. This girl's going through the worst time of her life. She's posting 2 minutes of her day, and you guys are assuming that she's just happy and she's moved on from her son dying. Dude, get a grip. Like, I don't understand people, and it pisses me off how disconnected people are from the real world. Like, go outside and touch grass so you can realize that you don't know everything about someone just because you see them post on TikTok a few times a day, or even if you see them post on YouTube an hour-long video every day. Like, you don't know someone, you don't know what they're going through, you don't know what they're doing when you're not watching. They're doing a lot. They're dealing with a lot. They're feeling a lot. They're thinking about a lot. Like, just realize that, like, they're the same as you. Just as you feel complex emotions, or maybe you don't, because you're obviously not a complex human if you can't understand that someone that just lost their child isn't just over it in a few months, and, like, you can't believe that she got over it so quickly. It just pisses me off so badly. People are so ridiculous and so dense. How can you be so dense as a person? I'll never understand it. Okay, the title of the next story is, I had a gut feeling my boyfriend and best friend were hooking up. When my boyfriend Tyler moved in with me and my best friend, I honestly thought life couldn't get better. They clicked instantly. Same sense of humor, same taste in movies. She'd always been like a sister to me, and he was the sweetest guy I'd ever dated. I actually felt lucky that they got along so well. They had the same days off, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, while I worked, and I thought it was great that they kept each other company. They would cook dinner together, send me funny selfies, even surprise me with little things when I got home. But slowly, things started feeling weird. I couldn't explain it. She started dressing a little different around the house, and they would watch movies in her room because her TV had better sound. When he and I went on dates, she would make these little comments, half joking, half jealous. Still, I brushed it off. I told myself I was being paranoid. These were two of the kindest, most trustworthy people that I knew. Then one rainy night, my shift got cut short. I came home early expecting to find them laughing in the living room or cooking dinner. Instead, the lights were low, music was playing, and her door was halfway open. I don't even know what I felt when I saw them. Shock mostly, like my brain couldn't catch up. They both looked at me, totally frozen. And I just walked out. I didn't scream, didn't ask why. I didn't need to. The weird thing? The minute I left, that horrible anxiety I'd been carrying for weeks was gone. Like my body already knew the truth long before I let myself believe it. That's insane. Someone said, how are you feeling now? Are you able to move out? They're going to love bomb and gaslight their way out of this. Don't let them. Tell all of your mutuals. If you don't talk, they'll change the narrative and make you the bad guy. Okay, there's an update, so we're going to read the update. I didn't want to explode or cry in front of them. I needed space to process. I went to stay with my parents for a while because, honestly, I just felt so betrayed and broken. I bed rotted for a week and almost got fired. After a few days, I knew I had to go back and talk. Not to yell or scream, but to get some closure and to get my shit. To end things like a grown-up and maybe find a way to mend that friendship. So I went back and I tried to talk it out, but it quickly turned ugly. They answered the door together and asked me to come in, so clearly they're not being stopped by anyone. My best friend started giving me these weird excuses like, it just happened, or you weren't around enough. And then the worst part, she actually started blaming me. Like somehow this was my fault, that I pushed him away. It was insane. I was just so hurt and confused that someone I loved could turn it around on me like that. Honestly, losing my boyfriend was awful. Like, you think you're losing someone you might marry, but losing my best friend, that hurt probably even more, because it wasn't just a relationship that ended. It was the person I thought I could trust with everything, the one I shared so many memories with. That kind of breakup hits different. It's like losing family. I packed all of my stuff and moved back in with my parents. I needed to get away from everything and figure out how to heal. And here's the kicker. His mom has been calling me nonstop, begging me to forgive him, saying he's sorry and wants to fix things. But honestly, I don't know if I can. When the people you love the most hurt you this deeply, forgiveness isn't that simple. Sometimes the people you trust the most are the ones who hurt you the most. And that's just really sad. That is really sad, and that is really crazy. And I feel like you would just never expect that, but also I feel like I would never expect, like, I would want my boyfriend and my best friend to be close, but I don't think I would necessarily think it was like super normal that every time they had off on like their off days on Tuesdays and Wednesdays that they would like always be hanging out. Like, I don't really see why that's necessary, and that's not even because like I don't like I think it's fine, like, oh yeah, have lunch together or hang out like once in a while, but I think that it's like definitely weird if you're like always hanging out and you're not doing things like what you should be doing other things on your days off of work. I feel like there are so many more things you could do. You could run errands that you don't get to run when you're working. Like, you could clean, but it seems like they were just hanging out all the time, which is just weird to me. Someone said that's heartbreaking, wish you knew the best. His mommy calling while he's still in bed with the best friend. That's some high level mama's boy right there. If there's a ranking, he'd be a 3rd-degree black belt. Wait, what? I don't remember. I didn't see anything about the mom. It is crazy that she's like saying maybe she can mend the friendship. Like, girl, don't mend the friendship ever. Do not mend that friendship, girl. I promise. Nothing is worth, that is not worth ever mending a friendship over. That girl is trash. The guy is trash. They're both trash. They deserve each other, and they're probably going to end up dating and cheating on each other anyways. And I know that's hard because they've been friends for so long, but it's not worth it because she's going to end up hurting you again. And she's probably going to literally try to F all of your boyfriends from here on out. So don't do it. Don't do it, girl. Okay. We're going to move on to the advice segment of this episode. It's also the confessions segment. If you have a confession or want advice, you can go to the description and there's a Google form you can fill out, or you can call the number 561-264-7017. Let's get into this voicemail.
Hi, Jamie. I'm a huge, huge fan. First and foremost, I've been there since pretty early on, and just seeing like the amount of growth and like, I don't know, just like love and care and energy that you put into every episode. I just, like, you don't know me, but I'm so proud of you. I just, it's really, really clear how much you care about this project, and thank you, because I love the content, and I just appreciate, how much you put out for us and how much labor that, it's very clear. I don't know if that made any sense at all, but, just thank you, and great job. You're doing amazing. I watched your Appalachian episode like a few weeks ago, but I have my own scary story from the Appalachian Mountains that I thought maybe you would be interested in hearing. It's October. I have a friend from freshman year of college, and every semester we would go up to her mountain cabin that is in North Carolina. Don't want to dox her, but it's in the Appalachian Mountains. It's a beautiful property. Like, the way that it's like set up is you walk in through the front door and it's a pretty open floor plan. It's like living room, kitchen, and then there's like a downstairs. But on the wall directly opposite from the front door, it's just like a wall of windows. Okay. And then those windows and doors go out to like a porch area. This is relevant. A porch area, like balcony area. And then there's just like trees past that. Now, the whole way out, I was there, the most recent time I was there, this was last spring maybe. We had been hanging out all night, and my phone was going to die soon, so I took my charger like from like the bedroom I was staying in, and I left it in the kitchen, which is, very close to the living room, the wall of windows, and I left it in the kitchen, and then was just charging my phone while we hung out. And so when everyone, it was time to go to bed, it was like 3 a.m. It was super, super late. You know, all the lights turned off, like everyone's going to sleep, basically. I went into my room with my boyfriend at the time, like we were getting ready for bed, and then I was like, oh no, like I forgot my charger, let me go grab it. So it was pitch black in like the like living room area. And so it was like that thing where, you know, it's dark inside, so it's lighter outside, so you can see outside easier. So I'm going to grab my charger, and I, like at first, like I'm walking up to it, I don't see anything, but then grabbing my charger, turning around, I see clear as day, like a figure. Okay, it's like humanoid-ish. It's very, very, very pale, and it's outside of the window, like directly in like the tree line. I don't know if it was like crouching on like the balcony like railing, or if it was like in like the shorter trees, like right in front of the railing. But it was very close, like right there, basically, maybe like 50 feet away from where I was standing. I was inside. It was outside, but like I figured out, like I know this sounds crazy, but and I literally just like freeze, like my like blood turns to ice, like we're literally like making eye contact with this like thing. And the best way I can describe it is it's like fully like crouching, and its wings are really, really long, and you know there's like really like no hair on it basically, but it's like humanoid, but it is not human. Like I don't know what anyone's going to say, don't really feel like looking into it, which is exactly what I do that night. 3 a.m. Everyone else is like asleep or about to be asleep. It's pitch black, and I'm making eye contact with this creature. No, thank you, right? The logical thing to do would be turn around and walk away, which is exactly what I did. I like had like out loud, I said, yeah, that's none of my business. I turned heel and I went to my room, and I didn't even tell my boyfriend about it at the time. Like I just laid back down and I went to sleep and never saw anything like that again. That was the first night that we were there, and we were there all weekend, and I didn't tell anyone until like the last night, because I didn't want to freak them out. And yeah, I'm actually going up there very, very soon, like 2 weeks. So we'll see if I have another experience like that. My boyfriend at the time had also had like a weird like paranormal experience the last night that we were there. So freaky, but we ended up being okay. And I fully believe it's because I did not choose to investigate or talk about it so like right then and there, because let the powers that be, because I was not about to mess around with that. But yeah, thank you so much, and love you, and keep doing the amazing work you're doing. Okay, bye.
That's so scary. I really want to go to the Appalachian Mountains, which I've always, before I started listening to like stories about Appalachia, I used to say all my life, probably for 25 years of my life, I said Appalachia and Appalachian Mountains. And that is how everyone said it, okay, in my town growing up. And my teachers even said the Appalachian Mountains. My teachers, all of my teachers, I know they said the Appalachian Mountains. Appalachian, okay? And the fact that it's Appalachia and I didn't learn that until like a year ago is really disheartening. But I'm going to look. You're like, I didn't want to research and I'm never going to research. I'm like, I'm going to look up what this was. Humanoid with no hair, long limbs in Appalachia. There has to be. I feel like, oh my God, stop. I'm scared. Cryptids. Oh, I've heard about cryptids. There's like so much stuff. There's so much lore about paranormal that not a lot of people know. I don't know either, but I've heard of cryptids. I haven't done like a lot of research on it, but I've heard of them. Ew. Ew, wait, I'm scared. Wait, I have to save this photo because it literally sounds like what you're talking about. Has no hair and it's crouching down and it's like a humanoid. What is that? This person said, okay, so someone posted in the paranormal subreddit and said 12 to 15 foot tall. I don't know how tall yours was. Extremely thin humanoid creature spotted me before bolting off once it realized I saw. Around 2 weeks ago, I was pulling out of my home in rural western North Carolina in the mountains on the way to get some tacos in my mom's Fiat. And our house is next to a small field, and when I pulled out of the driveway, I was doing a 3-point turn when the headlights shined on this extremely tall, emaciated humanoid thing. The thing was completely hairless, around 12 to 15 feet tall. It had no nose, no mouth. Its eyes were empty sockets. It had extremely long arms and legs and a narrow torso. We made eye contact, and when it realized I saw it, it bolted off into the woods. I peeled the F out of there because I was terrified that it would come back or something, but I never saw it again once I returned. What was it? And then someone commented this picture and said, does this fit the profile? And then someone said, Oh, you found a watcher. Don't be worried. Those bastards like to hang around, even at a distance, watching and waiting for what or why I've yet to figure out. But they aren't aggressive as far as I know. Their counterparts, which appear to be mostly humanoidish, run on all fours. Those are the aggressive ones in comparison. Oh. These bulky British boys have a pinkish or inky skin, but otherwise hairless appearance with overmuscular arms and thinner legs and glowing red eyes. But the lack of any defining facial features save for large, sharp, numerous teeth. Looks almost as tall as the watcher you saw before, if the brutes could stand upright. Those are things to be wary of. Watchers just watch. The brutes are called hunters in my research notes. I'm scared. So apparently it is a cryptid. There are several cryptids and entities from the Appalachian folklore that resemble a humanoid with no hair and long limbs. Mostly notable, the pale crawler, other possibilities that share some characteristics including feral humans, the wendigo, and the mothman. Ew, it's honestly so scary to like hear stories with similar like details, because sometimes when I experience like things like that, or in the past when I've experienced like paranormal things, I've just gaslighted myself and being like, nah, that's not real. Like, there's no way. Like, I always gaslight myself into being like, no, that's not real. But then someone says like something similar or like that validates your experience, and you're like, oh, so that was real. Like, I'm scared. And it's also scary to have it be so known and have like hundreds of thousands of people making stories to the point where, or not making stories, but telling their stories to the point where there's literally, you can Google search it and there's multiple things that come up of like the pale crawler, the feral people, the wendigos, the mothmen. And then you can just find one of those types of humanoids, or the cryptids, I guess they're called, that literally sound exactly like what you saw. And then the annoying thing is that like now with AI, people are always like, I used to always love watching like mermaid videos. Yes, okay. I've been obsessed with mermaids since I was a child, and I still am. And I still believe that they're real. So don't come at me. But I always used to love, love, love watching mermaid videos of like people, like those guys that work on those big ships, and they're like out on in the sea at night, and they like will be taking videos of like sirens or things that are following them in the water that look like mermaids, or like just any type of mermaid sighting. I always love to watch. Like, I used to look up like mermaid sightings on YouTube or on whatever social media platform I was on at the time. Even TikTok, before AI was like huge, like in the beginning of TikTok, the first couple years, like I would always see mermaid sightings and look up mermaid sightings. And the fact that I believed that that mermaid documentary was real for so long, and then I found out it wasn't real, and I was like, you're joking. Like, you're joking. That pissed me off because they really fucked me up with that. The one, and it looked, okay, it looks exactly what you would think is like a mermaid. And it's like a documentary. It's giving documentary, but it's actually just like a regular sci-fi drama that just like makes it look like it's a fucking documentary. It pissed me off. Because who would do that? Like, you're telling me you're making a fake documentary, and then I'm a child. In 2011, I was, what, 13 years old? I'm believing that immediately. And yeah, I probably did believe that for 10 years until I was 23 years old. And then I was like, wait, that wasn't real. And it broke my heart. But I do still believe that, honestly, this is true. And I think maybe they just had to call it like fake because, you know, it's like the government doesn't want people to know that these things exist. But they were like, I still want to like put this information out, and just, I'll say it's just fake or whatever. I don't know what my point was of that. What was my point of that? I forgot what I started that story with. Oh, I was talking about AI and how annoying it is now that AI is a thing, because whenever you look up like anything. If you look up like mermaid sighting, you're gonna see a bunch of AI videos of like fake fucking mermaid sightings, and it's so annoying because now you never know what's real and what's fake. Like, yeah, of course I can definitely tell, but some AI videos are really good at being fake. Oh my god, why is Jack calling me right now? Hi.
Hi,
What's up?
I'm coming home.
You are? You don't feel good or what?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Okay, I love you.
love you, bye.
Bye. Jack doesn't feel good, so he's coming home early from work. But anyways, I was saying it's annoying because now all the videos are fake. And some AI videos are like, whoa. Like some of them it's like, okay, really, grandma, you believe that? Or even like my sister thought that this AI video was real and it was actually, I was so embarrassed. She posted it and it was like on her Snapchat story, and it's this girl, obviously a fake girl, but it's like this blonde girl, and she has a whole TikTok account and she just like posts a bunch of these videos with sharks in the water, and it's like the shark comes up and like rubs his head against her like it's a dog, and she's like, "Oh, hi buddy." She's like petting it and stuff. And my sister posted that and she was like, "Oh my god, this girl's crazy." And I responded and I was like, "You do know that that is AI, right?" And she was like, "Wait, really? She has a bunch of other videos on her page that don't look AI." No, the videos in question all look extremely AI. Like, it's so funny. It's also like, not only does that look AI, and yes, I would understand. Like, I understand. My sister's 40, and I feel like she's pretty like hip and with the times, so I feel like she would know. But I would understand if my grandma, like my 80-year-old grandma, thought that that was real. But even just then, it's like common sense. Like, you know, a shark doesn't do that, right? You genuinely think a shark would like come act like a puppy dog and like come out of the water and rub his little head on her head. Like, that is not how sharks interact at all. That's not how sharks behave. That's just not a thing. And it's so funny. If you look up like on TikTok AI blonde girl with shark, I bet you it will come up. And it's just the most insane thing ever that people actually think that's real and they're like, I cannot believe that. But that's the thing that's scary, is like people believing that. And honestly, I did get tricked by an AI video. Like, I saw this video of this bunny rabbit or a bunch of bunny rabbits jumping on a trampoline, and I was like, that's so cute. And I thought it was real for the longest time until I saw a bunch of other AI videos of like nighttime videos on a trampoline. And it's obviously like an elephant and like a tiger jumping on the trampoline. I'm like, okay, that's obviously not real. But the bunnies looked so real. And I'm stressed that I believed that that was real. Some of them are like very, very hard to tell, but I can still 99% of the time find something that makes me know that it's AI, but it's really scary. Anyways, loved that personal story, the personal Appalachian story. I hope something like not like I hope something does happen again, but not like to harm you. You know what I mean? Like I'm sending you peace and love and like protectiveness and protective energy, but I do think that experiences like that are so cool. I mean, I guess if you don't, then I don't want to force that upon you, but I do think that it's like cool to experience things like that and to be able to tell stories like that and just be like, I want to go to the Appalachian. I want to go to Appalachia, but I also don't at the same time. Actually, you know what? When me and Jack go to visit my mom at some point, if you guys know, there's this place called Eureka Springs, and it has like a bunch of architecture that's Victorian, like it was preserved, and the whole town is like Victorian architecture. It's also a super progressive town, which I love because Arkansas is like a red state, but that is like a super progressive and like hippie town, like inclusive LGBTQ town, which I love. So we're gonna go there one day, and I'm making us stay there. I was like, you are staying there. Like, it's gonna be fine. I've heard the Crescent Hotel is like actually really cool. Even if we had like, we're not gonna get possessed. If anyone has been there, please let me know. My mom has been to Eureka Springs, but she didn't like go to the hotel or anything. But I just know, like, okay, when am I ever gonna go back there? And be able to stay at this hotel. Like, I'm gonna stay, and also it's not that expensive, and it will just be a fun experience, I think. And there's like tours and stuff that you can do, because it's been around since like 1836 or something, and it used to be used for a while as like a morgue or like a cancer research hospital. But it was like this guy that said he could cure cancer, and he had a cure for cancer and stuff, and he was like a scam artist pretty much. And I just think there's a lot of interesting stuff that they like preserved at this really cool haunted hotel. And I've been seeing them all over TikTok, because they have a TikTok account and they post all the time, and it looks really pretty. It's like Victorian style, and I love some Victorian style or any like vintage antique vibe. So that's going to be really fun. I'll definitely vlog that when I go. I kind of want to film a podcast episode there, but then again, don't want to work if I'm there. So, anyways, that's all. That's the end of this episode. I'm going to go film a Patreon episode because I have to. And I have to get one out on Saturday. I get one out every Saturday at 8 a.m. Never miss an episode. So if you're interested, the Patreon is patreon.com/storytimesociety, or it's linked in the description if you're interested in becoming a member. There's 3 different memberships, and you get access to exclusive videos every month, depending on which membership you choose. But I love you guys so much, and thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you in the next episode. Bye. Storytime Society is now available on all listening platforms. If you are on any of those listening platforms, I would really appreciate it if you rated me 5 stars. Thanks for all the support. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.